Meanwhile.
All right, we are back in Modern with a little bit of Jeskai Whurza. So there are no Whurs in this deck, but we are playing Urza combo here with 4 copies of Goblin Engineer as our ersatz Whir of Invention. So Goblin Engineer entombs any artifact we want and can bring back an artifact of convert mana cost 3 or less. So we can use this as a tutor card and as a way to get our combo pieces or toolbox cards. Our toolbox cards are 1 Soul Guide Lantern, 1 Pithing Needle, 1 Chromatic Star, and 1 Aether Spellbomb. So that gives us a little bit of game against most of Modern. And then Ethersworn Canonist is here as a specialist that will hopefully help us deal with any Tybalt's Trickery decks that we run into, except not the Jund version, because the Jund version has oodles of removal, although we can get the Canonist in an instant speed out of our graveyard, so maybe they'll get got. That said, we also have Teferi, we also have some Metallic Rebukes, so we've got other game here. We've got 1 copy of Lurrus of the Dream Den, 4 Urzas, 2 Swords, 3 Thopters, Thopter Foundries, some Emry, so just sort of pretty straight ahead version of Jeskai Whurza, but we've got some Meddling Mages in the sideboard, Blood Moons, Cleansing Wildfire, Galvanic Blast, Karn Scion of Whurza. This is not usually something you see in these sideboards. Tormod's Crypt, a little extra graveyard hate and wear and tear for, I guess, Blood Moons and things of that nature on the other side. Oh, no, rest in peace, Doi. Rest in peace. We do have 4 Engineered Explosives in our main deck that could deal with rest in peace, but having the extra one there is not bad. And we are, in fact, playing an Academy Ruins in the main deck. Not playing an Inventor's Fair. We are playing a Minamo, though. This is a boil-resistant island, so that's great. And then maybe Blood Moon and Wildfire too much. Yeah, I mean, I didn't make this list. This wasn't the 5-0 dump you mad. So
Meanwhile,
that's really true because Blood Moon is slow, and Cleansing Wildfire gives you something to do on turn 2 against some of the obnoxious decks that you will want it against. So yeah, certainly something to pay attention to. I don't know the exact philosophy that this person was using while they were making this deck, while they were looking at these sideboards. So we'll certainly find out as we go along that, like, maybe some of these things just don't make that much sense. So Itchy Walrus is our first opponent. Might see Tron 3 times. That'd be good. That would be good. I'm going to keep this one. We have a Bauble on 1. We have a tap land. We have Engineer on 2. Most of our colors are fixed off this Raugrin Triome. There's some double costs in this deck, so those won't be... Oh, we're against the Snow Delver deck. Interesting. So this has been making the rounds on Twitter. There's an Ascendant Spirit Delver style deck. I would definitely like to play that at some point. Maybe I'll record it tomorrow. I'm probably just going to do one deck tomorrow, if any at all, because if I am streaming tomorrow or if I'm not streaming tomorrow, I'll be focusing my energy on practicing for the Vintage tournament that'll be on Saturday. I should be streaming that one, though, so if you are interested in some... potentially for money competitive Magic, we'll be playing Vintage for real dollary dues in the Mana Traders tournament on Saturday morning. $900 dues. So we already have Sword of the Meek in our hand. So Goblin Engineer is not super useful in this hand. Only interested in Monopoly dollary dues. I got some Monopoly money right here. It does look like real money, but this is Canadian money, so it's clearly not worth anything. So if I play EE on 0, I can play Emry and Goblin Engineer, but instead I think we'll play EE on 1. Then when it doesn't resolve I'm up a creek in terms of what I can play this turn. I want to get this Emry and this Mox Amber into play. I suppose the only way to do that is with EE on 0, so let's just play it on 1. If this eats up a counter off them, I'm not going to be tore up. I suppose playing Goblin Engineer is probably the better way to do this. Goblin Engineer is kind of threatening, so they'll probably... does that affect, like, Mana Trader's fees, you being in Canada? No. They charge me USD. They just charge me the normal US dollars amount. I just have to pay it. So credit cards make everything easy because they'll just convert for you and you will pay the cost, whatever it may be. All right. So since this resolved, what am I getting here? I could get the Thopter Foundry, obviously. Aether Spellbomb's not bad. Pithing Needle, no. Soul Guide, well, I could Pithing Needle their Snow Delver nonsense. I guess getting the Pithing Needle would be like mildly threatening to them and make them want to remove my Goblin. But same with Thopter Foundry. But if Thopter Foundry gets stranded in my graveyard, yeah. So we're gonna put Pithing Needle in our graveyard. Putting a Thopter Foundry in my graveyard doesn't really help me. So I'm just gonna choose not to because I feel like they're gonna play an island and kill my engineer. That looks like a fetch land for a Steam Vents. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're on straight mono blue. Surprising if true. And the Mana Traders thing means if I win any money out of it, I get paid out proportionately more. I get paid out the same amount of US dollars, but they're worth more in Canada. Well, I could block here. But I suppose that would incentivize them to just tap down this turn. I kind of like that. Is that crazy? That's probably crazy, right? Because I'm not playing the Whurza this turn. Yeah, that's crazy. You've been close. You love Michigan. Yeah, I mean the northern states are great as far as I've been to them. I've been New York. I've been to I was in Portland for like 14 hours once, which does not really count at all. Where else have I been? So we're not going to be able to activate Goblin Engineer this turn, so that kind of sucks. But this Spell Pierce this? What is... Oh, it's going to be... that now finally the Lightning Bolt. Now comes the Bolt. This is fine. I don't really care. Because they don't understand that Emry's coming down too. So play Sword. Okay, that... Okay. This is fine because they're on really low resources now, though. I'm going to play this EE on 1 to deal with their cute little creature. And between Emry and Goblin Engineer and Whurza, we should be able to close this out. Oh, also I have Academy Ruins in play, so if I wanted to, I could just reset my Pithing Needle. The sword did get exiled, but I have another, so there is another Skywalker. The way my mana's choked is really annoying, but it's not too bad. Resolves, please. Level up your spirit. Sure. So must not have removal for Emry, which is not too surprising. I'm just going to take this hit. It stops them from playing a creature at end of turn here, and now we'll pop the EE. No removal spell on Emry is just the nuts. I mean, I really don't know what kind of plan, if any, they could have from this point forward. So play Goblin Engineer. Sure. I think... Oh, we could just play it again. Cool. So we're going to go get a basic island. We go play Chromatic Star. Dear opponent, in addition to everything else that's going terribly for you right now, I'm also going to draw an extra card per turn. Please respond. And how does this make you feel, opponent? Do you like the situation you have found yourself in? Hmm? I do think the proliferation of trickery decks gives us an edge because we've got a bunch of creature-based ways to get to our combo, and Whurza is one of our best sort of mid-range / combo cards, and he is, once again, not non-creature, is in fact creature. Sprite Dragon. Okay. Have you tried a blue-black version of this with Echoes yet? No. No, I have not. Do you have that list available? I would be interested in seeing what it looks like. Whurza. Bloop. Cool. Okay. Red, blue, EE on 2. Sure. Guess I kind of goofed that a little bit. Wait, can I... No, Emry can't get this back at instant speed. That's fine. Hmm. I'm concerned if they can somehow kill me this turn, but seems unlikely. So we're just going to try to draw as quickly as we can to a Thopter Foundry. I guess if they had another red source, if they had Bolt, that would be close, but not enough. Without another red source, I cannot see us losing here, but we do have to find the Thopter Foundry reasonably quickly. Having Goblin Engineer in play certainly makes that feel like it's a lot more likely. Oh, Spellbomb. Thank you. That'll do, little deck. That'll do. All right, so put this bad Mamma Jam into play. Let's get back. Bauble. Play this Emry post-combat in case we find a Thopter Foundry with it. Oh, I guess I should have done a pre-combat, because in theory you could one-shot kill them. But if I get Thopter Foundry into play, I think this game is over. I don't think they have any way to play through Infinite Life. What is this? Archmage's Charm. Ooh. Okay. I mean, I can block that, so not overly concerned. Also, it's very small on their side of the battlefield. Sure. Mill Thopter Foundry. Yep. I would like that, please. I'll sacrifice this. I'd like to activate this. Sacrifice. Get that. GG! Trigger. Always yield. Yay! Got him. Thopters go burr, exactly. Thopters go whir indeed, my friend. All right, so Galvanic Blast is probably already here. I don't really think there's anything else I want. Soul Guide Lantern's generally probably not good. Pithing Needle's definitely not great. And then I think I could keep Aethersworn Canonist, but it's pretty likely to just eat it. But I guess having a certain number of cards that they're going to want to kill is good, because they're going to bring in more creature removal than they had here. Maybe I just board out a Metallic Rebuke, because the way their deck plays, they're going to have a lot of spells I'm going to want to deal with. So I don't know. Like, Galvanic Blast is probably better in this matchup than Metallic Rebuke is. Then how are we on artifact count for Emry? We're good. Very good. I'm not sure if they're going to try to Blood Moon me. I would guess they might. Can't be a Dota Urza deck without the worst card. Yikes. Someone's got opinions. I don't want to board it in because it's a non-creature spell. And I feel like they're teched out with a bunch of Spell Pierces and Force of Negations. And I would like those to be as dead as possible. So, I think we'll roll like this. Opinions in this economy? Turn 1 Emry, you say. Opponent mulls to 6, you say. I think we're going to keep this. I don't think I'm going to turn 1 Emry, but I think I will keep this. Turn 1 Emry is obviously an option, but I think it's not worth it against the deck with a bunch of bolts in it. We're just going to play an EE on 1 and make my opponent very sad. Yeah, we'll play the EE on 1 on turn 2. Although that could get countered. Yeah, playing it on turn 1 is basically the same difference, because we also get to play the Mox Amber, so we can go Mox Amber into Emry and then the tap Triome. We won't be able to pop the EE on turn 2 that way, but that's fine. We almost definitely don't need to unless this blind flips. Which, you know. Wall blind flip. Whew. I played Is It Delver earlier today. The old version, not the snow version. With Terramander. I think Terramander, Snow Delver, and Magmatic Chandler is where I would start with the Delver deck. A lot grindier than what this person's playing. But that's personal preference for sure. Glimmervoid is a card. How much do I value potentially getting Stone Rained? All right. We play the Mox Amber. I think I'm playing Emry into Raugrin Triome this turn. Opt-in response. You got it. Is it Delver? Don't you mean was it Delver? It was, though. It was Delver. He was number 1. Wow. That's... I can't tell if my opponent is brilliant or stupid, but hell yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with a bold gambit here and play Goblin Engineer. It's not even that bold of a gambit. Just if they have an Abrade, they could take me off a Glimmervoid. But I honestly don't care, and I'm just getting a Sword of the Meek in my graveyard. We have a Thopter Foundry in my hand, so this could go badly for me, sure, but I'm not super worried about it. They're down to 2 cards in hand, so I really... they shuffled? Failed to blind flip. Oh, so I can block their Fugitive Wizard. Sick. And opponent scoops. That's a yikes from me, dog. That's a yikes from me. And just like that, we're 1-0. Yeah, Delvers don't flip in Modern. They only blind flip in Legacy where you have access to Brainstorm. It's because you take the pressure off of them. How does one get an itchy walrus? I'm assuming they don't moisturize. I should have used my my avocado facial scrub today because I was getting some dry skin on my forehead the other day. The perks of getting old, folks. Sometimes you get flaky. Like Gold Member. Mr. Gold Member. Wow, wow, wow. Do 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 do. Evil is his one and only name. Bow 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 now now now. Evil is his one and only game. What a great film franchise. Mateus F34. I want to say this is Taxes. We're on the play with turn 2 Emry. I'm gonna keep this. This is a sketchy hand, but turn 2 Emry with a Bauble. I'm like somewhat hopeful. We get to get a Raugrin Triome and just get our mana set up. So I'm just hoping that we dodge some early removal and then get to roll into some grind. Oh, it's E-Tron. I was trying to remember if it was Taxes or E-Tron. I think I've seen him on Taxes though, right? Am I wrong? Well, that looks like burn, is what that looks like. That looks like burn. This boy gonna burn me. Oh, fuck. He's been, as far as I know, Mateus F34 is a grinder. They will play things that they choose to play. Red, white, E-Tron? I mean, with Lava Spike, sure, it's possible. I would say probable. No, it's incredibly improbable. There's no way this is E-Tron. I mean, I have seen red, white Tron. Red, white Eldrazi. Not Tron, but I have seen red, white Eldrazi. Because you get to play the Pain lands, because they're effectively dual lands for colorless. This is a sick land. The Lightning land. It looks so 80s. That's sick. Well, might be dead, folks. We might be dead. So I can Ruins Thopter Foundry on top, play Whurza into nothing. Or I could Ruins Chromatic Star on top. May I see it? No. Well, Skinner, you're a very strange man, but it's you a good hand. Do I want Mox or Bauble? I guess not. Putting these on top is just making my construct bigger and giving me more mana on the next turn in theory. I think Chromatic Star is probably the way to go. So as long as my Whurza lives, which he should, against classic burn. They haven't played any creatures yet, and they spent a burn spell on an Emry, so I'm feeling pretty good, and I haven't had to take a gratuitous amount of damage from my mana. So, you know, I'm not... Char! I would love to see Char. Or, what's the one people actually play? The 3 mana, 4 damage burn spell? With Spell Mastery? Something Firecraft. Elegant Firecraft? That's not it. Intricate Firecraft? Also not it. Exquisite Firecraft. There we go. I knew it was some, like, flowery word. So I need an upkeep stop on my own turn to get this Thopter Foundry on top. Because then I can play it and then possibly gain some life. You're a flowery word. You're a flowery word. Shut up. Flowery word. Kills my construct. That is problematic? No, it's not. Because I still have a land drop. I can play either of these. So let's go white. Thopter Foundry. Let's see if we immediately get a... No. That's not the half of the combo I wanted. But thanks for playing. Well, I think I'll just leave Whurza back to block, because I cannot see that being the way I'm going to win this game. So now every turn we get to guaranteed gain 1 life and make a Thopter. It's not much, but it's something. My little Chromatic Star is like, it's not much, but it's honest work. This item is not from now. It reflects a sky no longer ours, and gleams with hope that does not exist. The foil peeled off the cardstock. That's a yikes. Whoop. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Meow meow. Do beep 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 beep. Boo doo doo doo. So how much is gaining one potentially worth? They've already cast one Skullcrack, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume that they're not going to have a second one. Okay, Metallic Rebuke is a sick draw. Gives me some game against them trying to kill me. I can play the second Thopter Foundry, which is great. It's just it gives me an extra artifact to crack to gain life. I've got Metallic Rebuke to play here, so I can attack with a Thopter. But again, I really don't think attacking them is going to be the way this game goes, and I'm willing to sacrifice a land. Well, I probably should have attacked with Whurza. Definitely should have attacked with Whurza. So I could have them down to 15, 14 if I really wanted it. I'm guessing this is going to be... Okay. Should I counter this because I have enough mana to counter it? Yeah, I think so. So with Burn, you kind of have to snap off counters as soon as you can sometimes. Because if you let them stock up a bunch of burn spells... Sure. If you let them stock up a bunch of burn spells in hand, sometimes they'll eventually be able to be like, EOT... Okay, they're just done. Sometimes they'll be able to go EOT, burn spell, and even if you have a counter, then you get got there. Hey, welcome back, Big Ben MTG. You can run!
You can run, but you can't glide!
I hope you are doing just the best. We just beat Burn in game 1. On literally any deck is surprising when piloted by me, so that was great. I don't think I need Aethersworn Canonist here. Teferi's pretty bad too. I mean, I'll keep one Teferi and don't want Meddling. I guess we could Blood Moon against Burn, try to take them off their white. Finish Modern League 4-1 with team returns. I love that deck. We played Jeskai Artificer pod with Pyre of Heroes first, and it did not go great. But I was able to give some hopefully useful feedback to our wonderful contributor, Horny Vegan, on their donation deck. So, you know, that doesn't suck. Happy to be able to help someone with their build. FYI, the long and short of that one was... the Chalice of the Void is horrifically positioned right now. I would not recommend playing 4 of Chalice of the Void in the main deck of anything except for maybe Etron. Etron definitely still needs the help against Death Shadow. And probably even Burn. Well, 2 CMC. If you could get Chalice on 2 CMC, you can block all the Tybalt's trickeries. So that is real. It's just that the chance of you doing that before they combo kill you is not high. Put the Chalice on 7 to counter Cascade and Tybalt. That's true. That's a real thing that'll wreck you. I have at least one great meme about Tron hanging around. Hold on, let me grab it. Memes and gifs. Memes and gifs. Here we go. Can I keep this? Yes. Should I keep this? No. Can I keep this? Yes. Wait a minute. Opponent kept their 7. Spire is so bad. I keep it. That's the voice of Danny DeVito as Herb, Hank's long-lost half-brother. even more surprising, they had him in season 1. For the guest spot that he did in season 1. So I can play an EE on 1. I'm assuming what's going to happen here is they're going to play Eidolon of the Great Revel. I'm going to Galvanic Blast it and then draw a card with Mishra's Bauble, try to hit the land that I need. But yeah, Danny DeVito. Hey, Big Ben MTG with the sub. We've got emotes on the way, friend. They're going to be mostly Simpsons themed. If you have any ideas for more good ones, I would surely love to hear that. DeVito's Schwarzenegger. I saw a movie about that. It's fascinating. Fascinating movie. Oh, also, did not know this until I saw the movie, but Tom Hanks actually skipped being a teenager, went straight from being a child to being a full-grown adult. Didn't know that one either. It's amazing when you find out the backstories on some of these celebrities. Just who knew? Okay, everyone loves a risky Glimmervoid. Actually makes a lot of sense, I guess. Think we'll play EE on 1. And then I can play Metallic Rebuke. Yeah, we can. Yeah, cool. Thopter Foundry should be great. Yeah, so I have 4 emotes designed so far, and I've got 1 empty slot that's waiting for an idea. I think I want something Professor Frink. But so far I've got 3 Mr. Burns? 3 Mr. Burns and 1 Homer. We got Mr. Burns saying excellent. We got Mr. Burns. Glimmervoid scares you. It should do. That's a healthy reaction to Glimmervoid. Nope. Get out of here, you freaking nerd. My FNM matched me against E-Tron players. It's a real grind. Yeah, dog. Alright, well, that's a totally insane draw. Do I have a Simpsons theme or something? Or something. Or something. It's not my fault they made the best TV show of all time in the 90s. And then stopped. It's more subtle. I wouldn't expect everyone to pick up on it. Okay, so they have 4 cards. I'm at 13. Feels pretty good. Yeah, it's a leitmotif. I think I can spell that. Is it L-E-I-T? I think that's how you spell that. You need to use the Trump Simpsons character for something. I'm gonna give that a little more time. Maybe. But I'd rather have Rainier Wolfcastle first. The Schwarzenegger stand-in. Yeah, exactly. It's easy. It's easy for me to laugh at it, but I still don't. I don't want to use that yet. Maybe someday. President Lisa could be good. I like President Lisa. That's an idea. But like again, for an emote, you want something that specifically suggests something within the sort of Twitch chat dialogue between me and you guys that you guys want to use with each other, that you want to use in different chats. So like Burns saying excellent and Homer saying exactly. These are the like those are the good baseline. And then we're gonna have Burns with Jimbo's purple beanie being like, hey fellow, hey there Dean, me and my fellow 4th form chums were thinking it would be corking. And that's like me, the boomer, trying to play Magic with all these Zoomers around. Nelson going haha. It could be good. It's very straightforward on the nose. I don't hate it. All right, so we'll go Thopter Foundry this turn, and then we'll play Lurrus next turn, I guess, or just not, because you know, I doesn't really get better than this. Although Lurrus goes crack Amber, play Amber. So if Thopter Foundry survives this turn cycle, we're in danger. Emote is good. I like that. How does Burn beat this deck? You just kill them first. This deck does not always draw this well. Remember, we had Galvanic Blast for their Eidolon, and we had Metallic Rebuke for the Roiling Vortex. Yeah, I'm in danger with Ralph, I like. I like that as an emote. That's probably rock solid. Yeah, Vortex is good against us. See this? They can beat us. Now, we're going to gain 1 life in response, and we're going to be able to replay it with the Lurrus, but like they've got tools. I just take 0 damage off this, and I gain 1 life, so that's pretty takes them off of killing us pretty well. Like, they're down to 2 cards. They can crack their Eyelet, have 3 cards and 2 available mana, so gonna need Lurrus to do a little bit of lifting here. I need 1 more mana is what I need, which is wild to say with how much mana I have, but like that one. We all love Vortex. I've never seen Vortex accidentally kill anyone who was unaware it was going to kill them. That's never something that's ever happened. Ever. A mana symbol that's a symbol? Yeah, I mean, that's one of those ones that's like, it sounds like a really neat idea until you actually start thinking about it, and it's like, So that's them sacking a draw. So they're going to have up to 3 cards. So they could easily burn us out here. Might see a quick concession if they didn't hit the burn spells they need. I mean, they have flooded pretty well. Yeah, we might be dead. I mean, we're at 5. They got 1 card in hand and they got a card draw, so... As I said, we drew pretty well, and they could still kill us quite easily. Almost any 2 burn spells will do it. What we really want them to do is draw some creatures here, because we haven't seen that many creatures out of this draw. Roiling Vortex also wouldn't be a big problem, because I have enough redundant artifacts that if they try to activate it on my turn, I can respond by gaining life, and I can respond more times than they can prevent it. But... Does anyone, for everyone who is here, does anyone actually care when you go to someone's stream if they have one of those, like, I'm away videos, but here's what I do and who I am? Do you guys, does anyone actually care about that? Is that a thing I should do? I feel like it's a thing I should do, but it's also one of those things where it's like, I have video editing software, and I know conceptually that I would, like, waste a bunch of time trying to actually come up with something cool, and then it probably would be nowhere near worth it. I honestly should just throw something up there, though. Perfect. Perfect. So that likely means we just won the game. Okay, so Lurrus has lifelink, so I'm just gonna throw him at them first. Try to get my life total up higher. I don't really care if I have to burn Lurrus's ability this turn. Not sure you've ever seen one of those. See, it's like one of those things. It shows up if you go to someone's stream and they're not online. But the only times I can really imagine that the only times I can really imagine that happening is if you already follow someone and you like wanted to check out their channel, but you're already following them. So like, you know, I don't, you know. Maybe if you were like handing out the link to your stream a lot. Okay, this has got to be Skullcrack, right? Yeah, okay. So in response, we're going to gain 5 life. This should put us over the edge. Like, I don't know how they could possibly recover from this. Also, they're going to have to trade the Eidolon for the... Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It's not my business. None of my business, though. I'm just over here gaining life. Here comes Rectos Charm. They have 0 cards in hand. They'd have to top deck the Black Source and the Charm. Well, now they're just dead on board. I mean, all right, so we 2-0. We 2-0. Straight thuggin' with Jeskai Whurza. Feels good. Force Negation reprint. Oh, so online, Zidane. Online, they're going to do another season, period, week of Modern Horizons draft. So that's going to increase the number of Force Negations online. Yeah, we just beat Burn, and we beat Burn 2-0. Whurza likes me. I like Whurza. I mean, it's not serious, but I'm hoping we can be more than just friends. Ooh, Batu Tinha. Yikes. Very good player. You got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Oh, baby. Well, the reason... So it tanked when they announced that they were doing the reprint. And then it spiked like unbelievable, crazy, go nuts bananas because of the Tibalt's Trickery deck. 2-0. Our opponent is 3-1. We're only at 2-0. I'm going to keep this deck with the... We're going to keep this hand because it's got a lot of mana. We have a redraw. We don't know what our opponent's on, but we'll find out reasonably quickly. I don't know if I crack this Bauble on 2. It's not a lot of 2-drops I want to pick up that are excellent, and Emry is pretty good. Well, maybe they're on Sultai nonsense. Red, Black, or Mardu? Yeah, I mean, Batu Tinha I know for playing a lot of control decks, and normally playing... Oh, they're on Urian? I didn't notice. Yeah. Batu Tinha I know for playing a lot of control decks and playing a lot of... just playing, like, good meta decks. Okay, so this hand is really poor against control. However, good against Growth Spiral, good against most decks that would want to play Abundant Growth. They're probably on Urian. Or not Urian. Niv Mizzet. 5-color Niv. Okay, I missed the... Clock Online. I like the second or third one. It was like a drag queen, but it was just like she's very, very nicely defined cheekbones, which to me was like what was like the most visually defining feature of the PogChamp emote, was just like how clearly you could see the dude's cheekbones. I don't know why that matters to me, but that's visually what I clued into. And so any of these PogChamps where you can't, I'm always like, this person's not surprised enough, even though maybe they're just a little chunkier. Rude. Okay, so this is Teamer Urian nonsense? PogChimp. Yeah, it's totally PogChimp. Alright, what are you drawing over there, nerd? Anything good? Teferi Time Raveler. Yikes. Oh, maybe they're just playing Money Pile with Urian? PogChimp is Ashiok? Oh. Boo. Sure. Yeah, we did draw an Emry. I guess I could go Mutually Assured Destruction and just take down all the Teferis. But if they're on Ren 6, that's probably more important. I don't know. Considering what the board state is, I'm just gonna do that. Force me. Force me! Alright. Mill. Sack to draw. See if we hit an engineer or something. Nope. Just flooding. Flooding like the Nile. Well, if next turn our Emry has survived, we can go double draw. So that's not too bad. Hopefully they only have a Omnath here. Fuck. Well, they can't use Teferi to draw that, so they have to have something else. Fuck. Oh! Alright. Yeah, we're flooding more than a little. That is the wrong half of the combo to draw. Okay. So they can now escape Uro. Let's see if they do something worse. Abundant growth on field. Love that. Escape Uro, get a zombie. 80 card money trouble. Yep. I mean, I respect that. Dido Guidati's list. Okay. Dido Guidati? Dido Guidati. Alright. That's not an Whurza. Maybe we'll draw an Whurza. If we draw an Whurza and we spin into Thopter Foundry, we go infinite and we could win. It's not likely to resolve, but it could happen. Sure. Big Teferi. What do you got, nerd? What do you got? Oh, they're trying to decide if they want to tuck my sword or not? That means I can't win anymore. Okay. We died. Kept a hand that ended up being really bad in that matchup, and we did nothing but flood. But looks like we have some pretty good sideboard cards here. I don't think I want this Dovin's Veto. Is this what I want to be doing? I think so. Yeah, I think so. So I'm not 100% sure how to board against Money Pile. I definitely got to keep our whole combo in. They definitely know we're on our combo, but I think their graveyard hate's going to be generally a little bit soft, so we'll see what if anything, he's got going on. Jeez. Cannot buy a reasonable hand, huh? Oh, no. Okay. When they have Bolt or Path, we're gonna be all set here, which is nice. At least we lose quickly in the hard game. Yeah, I mean, Emry can run away with the game here, but not bloody likely. Multi 5 on the play is just... man. But the Mox makes up for the one land drop we've missed so far. So as long as they don't have immediate removal, we could pull out here. Worth noting, milled 3 lands, of course. Never doesn't mill all the things that you want in your deck. Temple Garden. That looks like a Path to Exile. Oh, that should have been a Plains. Alright, well, hopefully we don't get super punished for it. Cryptic Command on top. Well, got a very short window to live here. Why won't you let me live? Oh. Feels... Oh, right. No, they've got the Cryptic. All right. We're not getting through that. Not on the Mold of 5. There's just no point. That was tough. That was a tough game. I mean, we managed to beat Burn 2-0, and that was the flip side. And it's Peg Leg. Very nice. On the draw? Well, I've got multiple artifacts with this Glimmervoid, so maybe? Okay. That's good. We have to suss out if we're against a Tybalt's Trickery deck or not. It's so hard because they're able to look exactly like they're a 4-color money pile. Yeah, Cavern of Souls was nice in the last list. I've seen one-ofs in these decks. And it certainly didn't seem bad. We just have no idea what we're up against here. So playing anything this turn is unfortunately potential death. If I'm going to play anything, it's going to be Goblin Engineer into Ethersworn Canonist. Yeah. Okay. No response is terrifying. Because we already have the combo in our hand. I'm just going to go for the Canonist. This has the upside of, if we are facing the Trickery deck and they don't have the Cascade spell this turn, we get something out of this. Not having the third land makes this really awkward. Didn't draw an Emry. Alright, it's just money pile. Well, I think the new spell from Kaldheim, Magna Brazen Borrower, could have a home in Whurza. The ability to create treasure when tapped puts the legendary for Amber, plus the 2 for combo. I think it might be okay. Yeah, I mean, you have to show me a deck list where you think it really works. I've tried it once, and I thought it was really, really poor. And more important, this is good for us. More importantly about Magda, like, you have to play it with Springleaf Drum, and Springleaf Drum is generally not a good card. Sure. But it's possible. Hard to tap Magda. Well, Springleaf Drum is the way you do it, right? And then I just don't. Paradise Mantle, sure. And then both of those things make you want to play Kinnan. I suppose you could just play Stoneforge Mystic. So, I mean, I need to see the list, but I have very little faith in Magda. It's not impossible that it's good. Well, that was a good draw. It's not impossible that it's good, but I'm unconvinced. Is there anything in my main deck that just straight up produces mana without having to have... No. Yes, Mr. Maple Syrup, that is definitely a thing you could do. Alright, they've got Uro coming in next turn. They've got the Renin 6. I can have Metallic Rebuke up, so hopefully we snag the Uro with that. So let's just go Thopter Foundry. If I draw a land, we could go off next turn, so maybe we can steal this. We'll see. I would really appreciate if they don't have a fetch land in hand. Although, no, it doesn't matter. They can just pick it up, sack it. I mean, it means they won't get up to 7 mana, but... Okay, so this means they won't be able to remand or... Oh, shoot. Well, this will hopefully work out in our favor. No. So they can pick up and crack a fetch land here and have 2 mana. So if they have a mana leak for my Whurza, we're not going to get to do things, but... yeah. So Path beats us, Remand, and Mana Leak beat us. They have 3 cards in hand. They haven't played any Remands. They haven't played any Mana Leaks. No, I think Goose is Magda is so mediocre. It's just tough for me to back that card. I guess I could try to clear their counters with Sword of the Meek here, but then if they have the counter, they can reset it and draw it again next turn with Ren and 6. So I think we're just forced to jam. We just have to pray they don't have Mana Leak or Remand here. Force of Negation could snag my Sword of the Meek, and then next turn we can Goblin Engineer for another one. So well, okay, so they got Path. We do get to get Thopter Sword going, so that could be good enough. Yeah. And we got a pretty beef construct, so. All right. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. They might be able to set up Cryptic Lock pretty quickly, though. If they have a Cryptic. Sort of the meh. For anyone who knows what tempeh is, which is like a vegetarian tofu-like dealy, I always read that as temp eh. So if that ruins it for you, enjoy. Temp eh. Temp eh. Alright, so they reset. Yeah, Path, so they're going to Path my Construct. We have a lot of basics in our deck, so we will be able to hit with that, so that's kind of good. So they're going to go get Uro. We hear the Knights who say, eh. If we draw another Whurza, though, we will be able to end the game on the spot. I just need that. Well, they just drew the Path. They haven't found a Cryptic yet that we know of, so that's great. And they're at 11, so the Thopter army could actually kill them fairly quickly. Sounds like something a Canadian would say about tempeh. Tempeh. Why are they fetching now? I don't like this. Do they have an Omnath? Oh, they had the Ren 6. Right. I see. Oh, yes, of course. Well, that's a dynamite draw. I appreciate that one, although we can't stop the Path. We also can't stop the Feeling. This is really close to ulting. Okay, so first we go to combat, go attack. I'm going to attack them. If they block with Uro, we'll make a Thopter. Then the construct will be big enough to eat the Uro. Titan. Hail, Titan! Yeah. As I figured. Alright. So I guess we just want to make 5 Thopters. Better than playing Goblin Engineer. Because I don't think Goblin Engineer gets me anything particularly useful in this matchup. I mean, we could get Soul Guide Lantern. We could get Aether Spellbomb. But those both require my Goblin Engineer live. Oh, hey, Roy. I suppose for the cost of 2 Thopters, this is probably okay. Oh, hey, Mock. Actually, it's probably really important to get a Soul Guide Lantern, right? Or Aether Spellbomb? I know we have to send some of the Thopters at Ren and 6 next turn. That's fine. Yeah, Spellbombs. Spellbomb's what I want. That's the one that I want. The one that I want. Woo, 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 honey. You missed a disappointing league with Pyre of Heroes Artificer Pod, Roy. But you're here for a reasonable league with Jeskai, Whurza. We beat Burn in round 2, 2-0. Then we got crushed by Money Pile in round 3 on some really rough mulligans. This one is looking potentially winnable. Gets the path again. Holy crap. This is the hardest working path I've ever seen. I think I have one more basic. No, I'm probably out. I'll just take the 6. I mean, we did what we could. I got to give some useful feedback, I hope, to Vegan. Little path. Yeah, we beat Burn. We had a pretty excellent sequence in game 2 where we were able to take out their Whirling Vortex with a Metallic Rebuke. We were able to... We had the Galvanic Blast for their... Have you ever beat Burn on stream? Oh, yeah. Like, not a small amount of times. I can beat Burn. I beat Burn probably 20 to 30% of the time on stream. But we just don't usually talk about when we win. Like, it's just usually like, oh, we did it this time. Well, moving on. Whereas losing to Burn is like the the eternal agony. The constant agony of losing to Burn. Today's episode, man getting sacked by a Skullcrack. Ow. Oh. Omnath on top. That's a yikes. Okay. That's going to be an amount of life gain that's going to be very difficult to compete with. I mean, I'm making 7 Thopters per turn, but yikes. Yup. They can gain 8 life per turn cycle. Brutal. This is a knife. You call that a knife? This is a knife. Whoa, down I go. Yeah, that's the one. That's a great scene. One more. Tap one more. Yes. So they're playing Time Warp, you say? Oh, crap. Well, they don't have any more Mystic Sanctuaries here. So, hey, JK Torborg, what up? Hope things are well on your end, wherever you are, whatever is going on. Okay, they don't have any more Mystic Sanctuaries. This is good news. Oh, but they... Right. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, it was the Omnath trigger. The Omnath trigger was the problem. And it's still the problem. So this Time Warp is resolving. But it's not necessarily that problematic. They have 1 card in hand. So if they attack with Uro, I can boot up all my Thopters and kill it. Which, you know, it doesn't take them off of Uro, but they'll have to recast it next turn, which is something. They won't be able to get the attack, and they'll have to eat their whole graveyard to do it, so. Stupid client. Stupid client. Can you not keep up with me? I know you can't, but just... Could you try a little harder, friend? No, that was Saber Dance, which they use on The Simpsons for circus stuff. Bye, Uro. Where's... Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? I'm sure I have the sound effect for that. Man, Uro's so savage. Sometimes you don't think things be like that. You don't think it be like that, but it do. It do. They do have a third Mystic Sanctuary? Oh, fuck. No. Boo. Oh, I'm so upset. Oh my god. No. Oh man. God, that's so brutal. Oh. Yeah. Time warp again. They really do always have it against me. They had so few cards left. I guess when they had Path for my Whurza, like, that was pretty lucky on our side of things. Thing is, if we ever get another turn, we could just top deck an Whurza and win it. So, I don't, you know. We're going to hold out as long as we're not dead. If you don't know, now you know. They did have to exile their Time Warp there, but I assume that means this is their last Mystic Sanctuary. So, now they could have more Time Warps. We don't know, but we'll find out relatively quickly, I suppose. They could have 5-drop Teferi. They could have 3-drop Teferi. At least they can't go deterministic with Ren 6 because we knocked it down low enough that that's just not an option. I could have killed their Ren 6 by, like, I could have had it off the board, but I was hoping I'd be able to kill them, but they just like, Uro into Omnath into, it was like, ugh, no. I'm going to chump block the Uro because if there's another Time Walk, I want to be able to chump block with a Thopter again. All right. The bigger problem for me is they're drawing 2 cards per turn, so that the chance that I get another turn and they don't have Cryptic Command is just basically 0. But oh man. Plus side, we're clocking them pretty hard. They Ren and 6 pinged me. There been any meaningful meta shifts in the last day or two? How often do you ask your opponents for their list? About never. Unless it's something super crazy. I mean, this is fair magic. I don't mind the magic that's happening here. So if they have a land drop off of Uro, they can put me to 1. If they have a path, they can kill me. Just gonna burn off. Yeah. Definitely don't need that much mana. Do you have another Time Warp? Ooh. Twinless twin with the big ol' raid.
You can run, but you can't glide.
Welcome, friend. Welcome, master control player / tempo player. We are playing a tempo combo blue deck in the world. The mono blue one. The Snow Delver deck, or did you play something else? Because I think the Ascendant Spirit Snow Delver deck is pretty narrow. I would have a hard time believing that deck could do well against a good chunk of what Modern can put out. That said, I have a Delver list that I played today to a 3-2. Last time I played it to a 4-1, and I think that list is pretty solid. So if anyone is interested in a Delver list to iterate off of that I think is pretty good, I have a recommendation. What does a Delver do? Well, that's the other thing, too. I think Delver is probably one of the worst cards in it. Terramander, on the other hand. Terramander is a Sky Terror. Scary Terry. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna leave 2 mana up before I go to blocks. It's possible they had a Cryptic. They did not. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 on Uro. Okay. What if you only had no shots, no chance to go? This opportunity never came in your lifetime, so you lost. Time Raveler, very well. Plus, attempts to bounce Thopter Foundry, very well. I would assume this means they have a counter, but I have another Thopter Foundry, so I think we'll be okay. Also, I think their fetches might be dead. Why is opponent on 40 life? I don't know. Reasons. They've got their reasons. They're playing green and white, the colors of life gain. Because all those colors are good at. You might as well let them be good at it. Thopter Foundry? Okay. Thopter Foundry? Oh, I just tapped really badly. Now I can't play my Goblin. Well, jeez. All right. At least you killed their commander. I mean, I'm going to. Okay. 2 Thopters at Teferi. Next turn, we'll try to get this engineer going. Because I'm a baddie. All right. I think I just chump block the Uro here, if they give me the opportunity. I could try to mob down the Uro, but since they can just bring it back anyway, and I don't feel like attacking their resources at this point is particularly useful. We found approximately none of our Emrys, I guess. That's been rough. Yeah, that's gonna live a long time. Okay. Yeah. I need to Teferi bounce some of my Thopters. I bet they are. Just to try to actually kill me. Hey guys, I'm clocking my opponent. Pretty hard too. Finally. Where you been, girl? Girl? Tech. Random 6. Tech. Teferi. If they have a path for one of these Thopters, I will eat the loss. Alright, good. So them not having a path for a Thopter feels pretty good when I cast Goblin Engineer. Resolves? Good. 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 That's not what I wanted to make bigger. Heh. I guess I'll guaranteed bury Thopter Foundry. It's my last one, so hopefully it doesn't get force negationed. Although if they don't have a removal spell for Goblin Engineer, I can just swap it back into play, and then Emry Mills, Chromatic Star, Emry, Minamo, Teferi. Fudge. How many Foundries left? Just one. Just one. Well, we just had 2 force negation. We're playing 3, so pretty easy math this game. What? Oh, sure. Okay, so their fetches are definitely dead, right? Because at minimum, they would have fetched to, Sure. I think I'm just taking this. Oh, I should have moved my Sword of the Meek. I still wouldn't be able to block the Uro, but I'd have a really big Goblin Engineer or Emry. Fuck. So they could bounce one of these two. They should bounce Goblin Engineer. You've got to be kidding me! How many Time Warps are these guys playing now? Oh, that's so obnoxious. So now I have to block with my Emry to... Fuck! Oh, man. Jeez. They used to be on, like, 1-ish? I guess they've all had to go turbo turns against each other? Fuck, man. That's so rough. I mean, at least we're more than 3 minutes up on clock here. But, oh, 2 to 3 Time Warps. This one had 3, and they found them all in very good. No field. That's true. No field is nice. Yeah, we're going to try. We've got Blood Moon and I think Karn. I don't know if I want Tormod's Crypt. I don't know if I want Veto because a lot of their threats are creatures. I mean, maybe I do. Yeah, probably. Especially if I'm trying to resolve an Whurza. I think this is where I want to be. Commence operation, give him the suck. That's the plan. Blitz MTG is bullying you. How is he bullying you? I haven't seen him bullying you at all. I saw him attempting to flirt with Twinless Twin, but I don't see any bullying. he don't tattle. The jig is always up. Don't tattle. Don't tattle. Said Hex Drinker was bad. Hex Drinker is bad. I'm gonna be over here enjoying your shock and horror. No, I like Hex Drinker actually a lot. I haven't played a lot of successful Hex Drinker decks. Wow, toxic. OMG, streamer so toxic. Alright, so we're going to jam Sword of the Meek here, I guess. With Steam Vents, because I want to have all my colors covered. Oh, maybe should have been basic Island, because we could draw into Blood Moon. But, whatever. How can Progenitus for 1 mana be bad? Asking the real questions. Progenitus for 1 mana. No, I do like that card a lot. Okay, so this is Force of Negation for sure. Into turn 2 Ren and 6. That's gonna be hard to beat. Yeah. No Ren 6, huh? Alright, well, I'm not going to jam my Teferi into that. But... It's not... This is not so good here. It's not that bad, but... So, Soul Guide Lantern. Snipe off there. Scalding Tarn. They're more likely to play an early Ren and 6, and then... In theory, if I need to, we can deal with a, what do I want to say? We can deal with a Uro or Mystic Sanctuary trigger later. I don't think I want to put a sword in right now. Just a little too risky because they probably have some kind of graveyard hate. Pithing Needle's probably pretty good. Yeah, I've got Chromatic Star already to start sort of drawing cards. Hex Drinker, Legacy Delver. I mean, it's something. Hex Drinker is for fish. What? I don't know what that means in this context. Oh, do I let them have Force Negation? The answer is definitely no, right? Yeah. That's probably them just doing that to do it. They're gonna have Jace. Fuck me. I mean, I guess this is better in that... Yeah, okay. Not the worst top deck, because now we get to go Teferi. Mox Amber. Goblin. I'll put a Thopter Foundry in my graveyard. And I have to plus Teferi. I would like to minus it for value, but if they have a Ren 6, they just eat me there. So that's not what we're going to do. Okay, so they don't have Omnath in hand. Teferi 5 would be pretty bad, though. That's also bad. They're just gonna keep bouncing my engineer forever, huh? I mean, it's kind of funny because each time I get to put a part of the combo in the graveyard, but fucking, are you... I can't do it. I can't face this. This is too much. Come on. You threw away so much early game value. Fuck, man. The Jace is not going anywhere. I mean, we're not... I just, why is this so fucking frustrating? Shit. Goblin Engineer can't give me any value going. Blah. Blah. Put the sword in. If I get wrecked here for putting the sword in my graveyard, I'm gonna be real upset. Guess let's try to maximize the chance we hit an Whurza. Bang. Ayo! Alright. Alright. I have Metallic Rebukes in my deck right now, but I can't play one. Alright. Well, they have way too much stuff wow. I can't play this. Fuck. I wouldn't be able to anyway because of the Teferi, but still. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's see how much they can just completely take me apart. Because they have Brainstorm. I mean, I feel like I'm just going to get Supreme Verdicted here or some nonsense. But if we don't, they're going to have to play like multiple paths. Or something. I don't know. It's just... After game one, I'm just super, super unhappy with this matchup. Well, them plussing Teferi sounds good to me. Time Warp. Fucking come on. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. Okay, I give. So two brutal losses to Money Pile. Jeez. I didn't mind Money Pile when it was in its previous forms, but this Time Warp version is so obnoxious. It's not Tilt. It's not a lock yet. But they're basically deterministic to go to infinite turns there. I mean, I didn't check the loyalty on Ren and 6, but if they have enough Mystic Sanctuaries in their deck, that Time Warp gets reset every turn. Is it better than the field versions? I don't know. I assume so. I'm seeing it a lot more. Also, you can play field in that deck. There's literally nothing that says you can't play a couple copies of field. Probably one, which is obviously not easy to find, so maybe it's not worth doing. But I mean, it just really depends. The mana base would get sketchy. Yeah, exactly. You don't need Field of the Dead when you just combo kill them and go deterministic infinite turns. Yeah, so the reason I was a bit tilted in that game just came down to like they just drew like all of their value cards on exactly the right turn. Like it just didn't feel like they clunked out at all, which is how that deck loses. But I mean, I don't really want to be super shitty about it. It's just like we were always like one turn too slow, 2 turns too slow in every game, it felt like. Lurrus, huh? All right. So 0 Tybalt's Trickery decks in this league. And the previous one? And the previous one. This hand is fine. It's not good. Or sorry, it's not great, but it's reasonable. We've got the Engineer that we can't cast, but we have one Canonist main that we can tutor for with Goblin Engineer. That's why we have Canonist main. But I think, yeah. I think playing Canonist in your main deck right now is not something that you should be ashamed about it all. Same with Meddling Mage. There's just... Oh, they might be on the Mardu version. Holy jumpin'. I play bad decks with the raid. We've had nothing but awesome raids from awesome people. Welcome, welcome. We're on potentially the last match. Sorry, we're on the last match of probably the last deck of the night. Probably. Although I could boot up 5-color Niv again because I really like that deck right now. But, sorry. What I was trying to say. I think playing a main deck Hoser for... a main deck Hoser for the Tybalt's Trickery deck is not a bad choice at all with how much I've been running into it in leagues. I mean, that said, obviously this league we ran into it literally 0 times, so you know it's hard to say definitively what you're going to hit. But like I had a league yesterday where I think we hit 4, and the previous league we hit 3. So my earlier league today I hit 3. Feel a little cleaner now that you have Tybalt's Trickery? No, I feel exactly the same. Is the deck dropping off in popularity? Well, it's morphing. Because there's a version now that plays... Jeez. There's a version now that plays... what do I want to say? There's a version that plays Supreme Verdict, Brazen Borrower, and Bone Crusher Giant. So it's morphing. Oh, speaking of which, that version plays Force Negation. And they cascade into Tybalt only. Yeah, the Eldrazi were all cut from that version. I'm just saying there's a lot of versions of the Tybalt's Trickery deck floating around right now. So it's not when you run into decks, it's very difficult to... Jeez. Yeah, I don't need that in this matchup. It's very difficult to know when you're going to hit... Like when you're going to get Trickeried on turn whatever. Then kick command like a 2-of. Yeah, I mean... They draw their 2-ofs. I just like... It's just been a really... They've had a good run of stuff. But this should be the kind of deck we have pretty good game against. So... The main deck Nile Spellbomb is a bit of a pain in the ass. I kind of want to just play Teferi and just down tick it on nothing. Just to get the card draw out of it, and then if they burn it, I really don't care. It's not really that great in this matchup. They're going to burn it and then Blood Moon somehow. But yeah, Teferi's not really a big... Okay, well... Dear opponent, you are not the only one who can draw the nuts, apparently. Cycles the Spellbomb. Do not discard spell. No. 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 Bad opponent. That's fine. That's very beatable. Oh! Neat. Okay. Just put 2 artifacts into play with Glimmervoid, and then hopefully we just win next turn. I don't think this deck is playing Temur Battle Rage, and Tidehall or Sculler can take anything, right? I think so. Non-land, yeah. Playing Urza's the most likely thing to die, and he's also the combo piece that, what do I want to say? Urza's the combo piece that, if you play Urza last, they cannot stop you from going to infinite life. Scholar has 2 triggers. Yes, Scholar has 2 triggers. This is facts. But, okay, they're on 5. They could go to 8. they bolt themselves, they could go to 11 if they have the TBR. Boom. That was a part of the equation that I didn't think of. But so the reason I didn't play Whurza there is I couldn't play out either of these pieces if I did. And I thought it was very unlikely to. No questions from Kozilek. No questions, thank you. No questions. Not taking any questions. Moon. Yeah, I think so. I think Moon and Karn could come in here. I don't think I want Galvanic Blast. Yeah, I do. I think they're on Scullers. I think Teferi's generally poor. Metallic Rebuke could be fine. Ethersworn's unnecessary. Pithing Needle's probably unnecessary. They play Moon. Yeah, but first of all, do I think that they're gonna play Blood Moon against me? And two, yeah, Needle's too narrow. I guess we're up a game. Let's see where things go. See ya, JK Torborg. Be well, my friend. Be well. I think maybe we'll just roll like this. We'll see the Blood Moon situation in this game. We'll try to fetch as though we're going to get Blood Moon on turn 3. Not always possible, but this hand, it's not impossible. Not a great hand, but I'm going to keep it because we got EE on 1. EE on 1 plus Mishra's Bauble. Our colors are pretty good, although Glimmervoid's a bit sketch here. You're the one with the greedy mana base. Sure. But if we know Blood Moon is coming... I don't know. In that last game, did they... Emry's bad for this matchup. There's a lot of Grave Hate, even the main deck. Shave 2 Emry's isn't wrong. Yeah, it's just so powerful. The other thing is, Emry's... what do I want to say? The marginal value of a card like Emry in a deck like this a lot of the time... yeah, shaving the Mox Amber is possible. The marginal value of a card like Emry in this deck is partially that we have 13 creatures that are must-kill creatures for our opponent. As soon as they have a piece of removal, they have to kill it, basically. I mean, not necessarily, but close to it. This is going to be Rest in Peace. Tidal Scar, sure. And so... cutting any of them makes all of your other creatures less good, which is really crappy. So I don't love cutting creatures in these versions. Do I just go EE on 2 here? Yeah, I noticed. But I can't get a basic plains. I literally can't. The only thing I can get into play is a second island. So... Second island's not the worst, but it's pretty bad right now. So if they have the moon on 3... we get messed up a little bit. Let's go for Foundry with the Goblin Engineer. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I got you. The tricky thing is they could also be playing Boil instead of Blood Moon. So it always makes these games somewhat difficult to navigate. Now they're gonna go land KCOM twofer. Just wreck me. Whatever they're doing, they feel like attacking me for 2 first. This has got to be Rest in Peace, right? Wear Tear on my Engineer Explosives. Oh, now I don't have an artifact. Sure, I see. Well, you're not going to believe this, opponent. I have other artifacts in my deck. So if I have to put EE on 2, I kill both of these, but then I can get Lurrus. That seems acceptable. I could always still just turn the EE into a Thopter Foundry too. Boyle is seeing less play than months ago. I think it's because you never resolve it against the deck. People bring like Uro on that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Boyle work spectacularly well, but I understand your point. Well, they had exactly what I said they would have. They just didn't have it on the turn where they needed it. This actually works out okay for us, so let's just top deck the sword. They boiled out of scales? Neat. All right. That's a Thopter. Thopter at a redraw. Well, that could work out badly. If they have Thoughtseize. Not good. Don't jinx it. Sure. Rats. I already jinxed it. You can't. They had the IOK last game. We got away with murder last game. We can't do it every game. Oh shoot! I could have group blocked that, and then gotten the Lurrus, replayed the Lurrus and the Thopter Foundry. Thanks for the follow, Requiem dos Vivos. Yeah, no. I read it. I read it after it was too late. Unfortunately. Fuck. All right, maybe they'll walk into it again, but this time with red and black mana up. I mean, their shadow is really, really tiny. And my god, did you see their shadow? It's so small. I don't believe it. Oh my god. What? What are you playing? Wild. Okay, maybe they have surgical? I mean, whatever. I'm going for it. It's Noon Shadow? opponent is so smart and thin. This is facts. These are facts. Are they gonna post-combat be like, no, they have one card in hand? I have no idea what's going on here, but I know I'm about to enjoy it. Because we're gonna go like Lurrus into EE and eat your world. So I can use the Spellbomb on my Lurrus to help him dodge. So let's guaranteed get this EE into play on one. And the Spellbomb. Yeah, Aether was not a bad pickup at all. At all. We're flooded, but we can leverage our mana pretty well in this deck, so. Okay, they found a fetch. And they had baubled, so they are at 2 cards in hand. Okay. Sculler. Sure. You're gonna love this one, friend. Who's that card in hand? It's Glimmervoid. Glimmervoid. So we're just gonna bounce the shadow. I guess I don't have a second EE, but this is fine. So I can't pop this EE. Oh, I do have a second E. Doy. Dingus. So... EE on 0. I think so. And I think... But we can't pop an EE on 0? If I pop an EE on 0 to kill the other EE, and if they play the Death Shadow after combat, yeah, I put myself in a bad spot here. I did a small dumb. I think it's Spellbomb or Thopter Foundry here. Still get the EE next turn. Exactly. I got that the explosives in play on 1. I think I'm just gonna play Thopter Foundry. Go for Goblin, search for... Oh, you're a smart human, aren't you? Is that good? Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, because now we have 2 ways to get it back. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Guto Ferinha. That name is very difficult. It's great, but it's very difficult for me. I'm pretty sure you told me at some point an easier version of it to say, and I have soundly forgotten. Not good. Ferris? Ferium? No, Ferris. Latin for iron. Well, thanks for the follow, Deputy Michael McGlenn.
Start of the rainy season. And
Deputy.
remember, a shiny new donkey for whoever brings me the head of Colonel Montoya.
Yay! So we got a 3-2. Not bad at all. Sorry. Just got distracted by something. See you, Mr. Maple Syrup. So yeah, we got the 3-2. What's next? I wasn't planning on playing more. We could play some 81 card Niv. We could play some Vintage. But before we do that, expected results. I've already played one very questionable deck in Modern tonight. So before we do that, we lost to Money Pile twice. I think that matchup's probably winnable, but you'd have to understand the sideboarding better than I do. Dovin's Veto, as a one-of, probably should have made something happen. Game 2, yeah, the Vintage Tournament is on Saturday. The Game 2 was really brutal because we got the Teferi down and it just didn't matter because they just were like Planeswalker, 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 Time Warp. Which is one of the reasons I'm sure that deck is good versus other versions of it. But yeah, I think we'll probably play some Vintage right now. Anyway, so yeah, deck is super, super sweet. You can definitely hit some 5-0s. We never, or have good results. We never hit the Tibble's Trickery deck, which we are reasonably well. Let you know when Wits will be played. Yeah, I will definitely. I mean, I haven't touched the deck list too much yet, so not yet. So yeah, we're gonna go play some Vintage. But yeah, so deck is sweet. I would like to understand the sideboarding better. Yeah, Wits it's definitely. I mean, it's both good and bad because you shuffle instantaneously, but every time you need to search your library, the client seizes up like really terribly. Yeah, I like this quite a lot. And having a lot of creature oriented versions of things in this deck, the Goblin Engineers and the Emrys, instead of any Whurs, is really good right now because there are so many people playing Force Negation. So
meanwhile,
everyone live, we're going to play a little bit of Vintage. We're going to be playing the deck that I'm planning on playing on Saturday. We're going to open up the song requests and have a bit of a fun, casual time here. So you can type !SR in the chat to add songs to the song list and enjoy your tunes being played here on stream as we move on to some Vintage.